All right, good morning. We are going for a walk, and while we are going for a walk, we're going to have a discussion. And what you're seeing is where I live, my dog Luna, neighbor's house. And the reason we're having a discussion is because I think I'm going to try and do a series of videos that we'll put on YouTube and maybe help some people with some problems. So what I've done is wrote some questions down that maybe help me say the things that I want to say instead of just randomly coming up with words. So the first question is, why the video? Come on, Luna. Come on. What the hell? Damn dog. Why the video? The video is being made because 15 years ago, something happened to me that radically changed my life. And I was in a very bad way. The video is being done because I feel like I owe for what happened to me. I think I have to pay it back. I have to try and give back what was given to me, which was a new life. And I could think of no other way to do it. I thought about writing books and, doing it that way, but it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work for reasons that will be explained later. So the reason the video is being made is to give back, to pay forward. My life was saved by something bigger than me. So I want to take what I have learned from that experience and pass it on. The second question is, why is it being done this way? It's being done this way so that we can have a conversation without identity, without a face. Because if we put a face on the words that I'm going to be giving you, it's going to take away the depth and the meaning. So I don't want to be the focus of the video. I want the words to be the focus of the video. And to do that, there can't be a person attached to them. So I'm going to go by me, and you are walking with me. So we're going for a walk, and you're going for a walk with me. And I do this every day, twice a day actually, in the mornings and at night. Take care of my dog, let her go poop, keep her happy. All right, the third question is, who am I? Who am I? And what gives me the right to, what gives me the authority or the wherewithal to make this video. I'm currently 53 years old. I have a wife and 2 children. Pretty much grown now. One's still in college. The other was just graduated and got a job. Both children are very intelligent and are great citizens to society. My wife is one of a kind, very supportive, very tolerating, very, very understanding. And as you learn more about me and what has taken place in my experience, you'll understand. About 15 years ago, I was extremely depressed, having panic attacks, anxiety, the works. It was bad. I had an addiction that was very powerful, and I had this addiction for a long period of time. I could not escape it. I could not overcome it, no matter how hard I tried. And I wanted to. I just couldn't. Anyway, this addiction was destroying my family and my life. At the time, my father was dying of cancer as well, and it just imploded one day, and I had a major nervous breakdown. The kind of nervous breakdown where you have to go to the hospital and they sedate you, and I just remember thinking, I'm going crazy, I'm losing my mind, and I was terrified, didn't know how I was going to overcome the hell that I had placed myself in. So a lot of things happened. I was doing some bad things, making terrible decisions, and I ended up after the nervous breakdown, I started confessing to my wife, and of course that led to, without going into great detail, led to a separation. There was a point where I had to make a decision. How, was I going to continue with this lifestyle that was self-destructive, or was I going to make a change? And I decided that I had to change, or I was going to die. I just couldn't live like this no more. I was a mess. Thoughts of suicide ran through my mind constantly. I was living with my mother, separated from my kids, and desperately wanted to be a better person. And as a matter of fact, I was not a big God person, was not a religious person, but the one thing I did ask for constantly was, God, please make me a better human being, a better man and a better husband. And I asked him to make me a better person. And one day And I'm skipping all the gory details. But one day, let me back up. I began talking to priests and preachers and listening and studying religious material. Another thing that was going on was I was always crying. I could not stop crying for weeks and weeks. I cried, and I would cry at work and cry at home and cry in my bed. Just weeks of it, and it was just, I couldn't control it. And also I was speaking to a specific person who was a Christian guy, and that relationship began when he worked with me, and he realized that I was in a constant state of distress. And one day he said, "Hey, John, can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm in a really bad way and feel like I'm going to die." And he offered to talk with me, and that process began. So every day we would talk a little bit. He would tell me about ways that I could heal from this situation and guide me through this process. And also I began to go to addiction meetings for this particular addiction. And I would go to these meetings and discuss my addiction. Became open with it, admitted, just basically quit hiding it, quit trying to hide the fact that I couldn't control it. So all these things were going on, and I was really, really giving it my all to try and overcome how badly I felt, how badly trying to overcome how badly the condition I was in. So one day, this is the height of it all. And one day I was driving to work. It's about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening. It was still daylight where I live. And I was listening to Christian radio. And the minister was discussing, I forget exactly what, some scripture verse, and he was talking about it, whatever. Anyway, in this moment of driving to work in my own little state of misery, I heard the words in my mind, which I thought was from the radio, say, quote, "Say, God save me," unquote. And I heard these words. The first time I heard them, I kind of ignored it or wasn't making an impression. I didn't react to it. I thought it was from the radio, and it was kind of like, a background noise. And so after that, I heard it again. This time it was more pronounced, it was more direct, it was more authoritative. Say, quote, "Say, God save me," unquote. So in my, semi-alert awareness, I repeated it out loud. "God, please save me," because I was desperate, man. I was going through hell and desperately wanted something to bring peace to my state of being. And when I said it, this bright white surrounding light now surrounded me, as though I was on a spotlight in a stage, or just beam bright white light. Not a beam, it was just surrounding light, and everything became illuminated. And when that happened, I was consciously looking around, searching for the source of this light, looking around, going, where is this coming from? So there was no source. It was just there all around me. And I was driving and I was conscious. And so I remember thinking to myself, or even saying, I'm not sure if I said it out loud or not, what the hell is this? What's going on? And then I noticed that everything was extremely brilliant. The sky was extremely blue, not just blue. And that the clouds were extremely white, not just white. And the trees and the greenery was extremely green, not just green. These were colors that I had never seen before. So I'm conscious of all this. I noticed also that my vision had become extremely perfect, and I could see dust particles on the windshield. I could see things that normally could not be seen. And my eyes were bright, wide open. And I was in this state of euphoria, that the weight of all of my misery was lifted, completely gone. No more sadness, no more depression, no more anxiety, nothing but pure euphoria. And then I had this experience of a download of knowledge, like somebody hitting the enter button of a program being downloaded into a computer. And man, it was a rush of information. And I instantly understood what was happening to me. And I also felt what my wife was feeling. And she surprisingly was feeling terror and fear. She was extremely afraid, which I did not know because she was so mad at me. And all I sensed from her was anger. But that anger was manifested in her fear of everything. Losing me, the possibility of divorce, because we were together for a long time. We met when we were very young. And at the time we were separated, okay, so I got to work. And this experience, this moment of the light lasted long enough for me to experience all these things. So I would say, a minute or two. It would have to be at least a minute, which is a long time for the mind to absorb something. So I went to work, and I was having the most euphoric night at work that I'd ever experienced. I was literally walking on a cloud. I felt light. I was in a great mood and a great spirit, and nothing. And it was just, and people would notice. The guys that I worked with would say, "Hey, man, what's going on? You seem completely different." I said, I don't know, but I'm happy and I feel awesome. Something happened and I'm feeling really super awesome because, they've seen for years this miserable person who was angry and mean and hateful and cursed and yelled and was just a hostile individual. I didn't I was just mean to people. So this lasted all night, and I went home, and on the way home, I had to drive by my house that my wife lived, and I pulled in. I got home. I get home very early in the morning, so it was like 5 when I went into my home that I was separated from, and I went to my wife's room and said and woke her up, and I said, "Hey, everything's gonna be okay. Something happened. Something's changed. Everything is going to be okay." And I was absolutely sure, confident that everything was going to be okay, and I told her this. And I said, "I'm going to go home, but we're going to work this out. I'm going to become a better person, someone that you will love and grow old with." So that's the beginning of this. That's the beginning of this series, and it's why the video is being made. I was given a brand new opportunity, a brand new life, a brand new way to exist, and I wasn't going to let go of it. And there was a lot of work ahead to build this new person. It was, I was introduced to the new person at this moment, but it was up to me to build upon what I had experienced. So what we're going to talk about is everything that I learned and did after that absolutely miraculous experience. And what I hope to achieve from this video is to reach out to people who are in the same condition that I was in. They may be an addict, they may be suffering from depression, they may be seeking some sort of guidance and relief or help. And I'm certain that the information that I have available to you folks out there will help. And this video is dedicated to my nephew who recently committed suicide because he was depressed. And so the video is dedicated to him and all of the others that have ended their life in absolute confusion. So this is me signing off, and